Welcome back, everyone. We've got another Friday Night Fights VOD for you. Some awesome matches here for you tonight between Piano and Ben, along with Bruce Campbell and DarkHero. Enjoy the matches, and if you have any matches you'd like to see, or any grudge matches or players you want to see clash for our Friday Night Fights coming up, leave a comment here and I'll try to make it happen. Enjoy the show. Thanks for watching, and stop by the stream next Friday if you want to catch it live.
I mean, now that it's actually random versus random, I mean, that obviously does like throw a whole wrench into it, where if Ben does get a hero that he's pretty comfortable on, and Piano gets like the sorcerer again or something, then I could definitely see Ben taking it. But of course, sometimes you go random and you actually just get like a hero that you're really good with. So we've got the Warp Spider Exarch versus the Lictor Alpha.
Oh, okay. This is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, these look like actually very, in my opinion, pretty try-hard heroes on both sides. So, and Ben definitely plays like some Tyranids. I think of him as an Eldar main, but I'm pretty sure he plays some Tyranids. Piano's Warp Spider Exarch I don't actually know about, but I also feel like that he is actually so good at the game that I would not be surprised if he can play the Warp Spider Exarch just fine.
All right, so we've got double Termagants coming out, Banshees for the Eldar, and just the opening caps coming in. The Eldar versus mid matchup, I feel like I actually don't know too much. I feel like I don't see this often for whatever reason. This is just a matchup I don't feel familiar with.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you one way or another who this necessarily favors, and we'll just kind of have to watch and see. Certainly, this Lictor Alpha, though, he's going to be pretty oppressive, as we see right now. Like, at the moment, there's not really, like, much to really counter the Lictor Alpha. Obviously, there's nothing to detect him. So regardless of, like, Tyranids versus Eldar, that Lictor is just something that's incredibly oppressive in 1v1 for just, like, very concrete reasons of, like, no detection right out the gate, no matter what race you are. Often wins a lot of, like, 1v1 unit matchups. This Warp Spider Exarch, can he teleport away?
Oh,
yes,
that was very close, but he manages to get out of there, just barely getting on his feet and teleporting away. And yeah, like you said, there's the weird situation with Eldar, whereas I don't think you want Rangers in this matchup at all, right? Do you need the Rangers just for the Lictor detection? They can. Like, well, I guess with Warriors coming out, maybe they become a little more viable. But I just don't think that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that like they wouldn't necessarily be ideal for like, I don't know, basically just against the squads. They're not going to get like as much value as they would against like other races. I don't know. Personally, I'd still want to be able to see the Lictor Alpha sometimes instead of just like letting him have like complete free reign. And Bruce Campbell even kind of weighing in chat saying like you don't want them but you need them.
Sure. That's kind of what I feel like the Lictor forces. So it forces like a weird like suboptimal army composition. That said, with Warriors being on the field, I think they become more valuable because you can start whittling those down, start trying to set up those synapse bombs and bigger engagements. But you can see Piano did get a Shuriken as his first power purchase here. He has Aspect on his Banshees as well. Nothing on the Warp Spider or Lictor yet, but the Warriors get a nice flank on the setup team despite being tucked into that little nook. I'm not sure if he sees it. He just now retreats. The Banshees are up on all the Gaunt and Gant squads though, but deciding better of sticking around for that engagement ultimately.
So Ben's got a lot of map control at the moment. Of course it does in part just have to do with the fact that he's just straight up got more units. And I was also wondering, we did see the Guardian Weapon team come out instead of, say, getting like another Dire Avenger squad. It does look like Piano's paying for it like in terms of map control at the moment. And
yeah, I mean, I feel like it only looks bad on map control because of Warp Spider. Like, you expect Warp Spider to be doing better. But it's ultimately a little bit even. Like, I mean, you can see the victory point went in favor of the Lictor. Oh my gosh, the Warriors got on the Shuriken again, and now the Hormagaunts are on the flank. The Lictor's in there knocking everything to the ground. This is actually a really dangerous engagement. The Banshees need to get out of there. They're looking for a kill on that Warrior, but they're not going to get it. Luckily, one model for the Banshees is way
the Warp
in the
Spider
back.
Exarch, he just barely gets out alive.
Oh my gosh, look at these retreating squads. We have a lone Banshee that was fortunate enough to get not clear of the fray, and the Warp Spider at 8 HP, narrowly escaping death a second time already this game.
In the single digits. Yeah, I think Piano was hoping for like a Synapse backlash a little earlier in that engagement, and it just didn't come quite as early as he would have liked. But
yeah, I think that was
still
the only
kinda got
reason
lucky with
the Banshees were sticking around. We do have the Rangers coming out, so we got the one of everything Eldar tier 1 happening here. Oh wait, no, he switched.
Oh, he's gonna switch to the Double Guardian weapon team.
I don't know if I agree with that. But Raveners are coming out, so maybe this will be worth... No, because you still can't see the Lictor, so it's going to be easy. The Lictor can get the fronts team, the Raveners can get the rear team. I don't know. We're going to have to see. He's gonna need really good positioning to make this work.
Yeah, I think it's going to need just be kept like in a position so far back that hopefully it like covers like even the Lictor's attempt to flank.
But like so far, we've seen even just the Warrior Brood come in and engage on the Guardian Weapons team. So he hasn't been super great with his positioning thus far. Lictor now getting in here. Will he spot?
And here comes the Lictor. Yeah, he'll find the back Guardian weapon team, and actually exactly what you said is going to happen just after. So
yeah,
that's both Guardian weapon teams off the field. So yeah, at this point, definitely agreeing and definitely kind of questioning the double Guardian weapon team purchase. And Piano's also suffering even more and more on map control, struggling to keep his own natural victory point. He is trying to get a decap on Ben's, but Ben also hasn't lost a single victory point yet. Although
yeah,
that might actually happen soon.
It's looking pretty rough right here. I mean, it's certainly not over by any stretch, but I mean, the Eldar needs to get out here and hold at least a single fight somewhere in this. So far, the Lictor's just running amok. I mean, again, forcing off the Guardians, even getting a couple more kills. Bleeding. Piano's heading into tier 2. The Lictor's not going to be far behind, but maybe with some tier 2 tech, maybe getting a Falcon or a Wraithler or something like that out here.
Parmagons will just get around this firing arc.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like
Oh no.
Oh no, it might go down.
Yeah, it might.
Oh, no. Brutal.
Oh man.
So far, his setup team positioning has just not been. I don't think there's been a single fight where they've gotten to actually do anything. And he's been running around struggling so much to get map control. He hasn't been able to use the Banshees to kind of babysit, so sort of deterring the... See, this is what you want. You want to be able to have the Banshees there to stop the melee approach cold. Because they're going to beat any of these Termagant, or any of these
oh no, but the Lictor Alpha's coming in. He's going to see if he can get the wipe on the Guardian weapon team. Alright, I don't think he'll get it. Maybe. Flesh Hook might be ready.
Flesh
Hook. No, well, he didn't. Forget the energy cost on Flesh Hook. If it's 60, then he didn't have enough energy to do it.
Right, so the Banshees do ultimately get forced back, lose a couple models along with the Dire Avenger squad. Tier 2's finishing up for the Tyranid forces, and Piano is approaching either a Falcon or a Wraith Lord if he so chooses. But look at this map, Catella. This is there's only one blue spot on the map, and it's that natural gen farm.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but
the requisition is at least 100 in the favor of the NID, despite the NID having the larger army for upkeep here.
Yeah, it's about 100, slightly less, but I mean, still, he's got plus 342. It's still like way ahead of Piano's, and I think another obviously big challenge for Piano is, you know, we're talking about the Wraith Lord or the Falcon, but like he's struggling just to have enough requisition to reinforce his squad, so he'll actually go for a Warp Spider call-in.
I think that's a good choice. I mean, this is all infantry. The Warp Spiders can really shred into this Tyranid force and start getting some pretty serious map control.
I think it's a cost-effective option, kind of given his situation, but he does also have to be careful about like the bleed of if the Warp Spiders do find themselves kind of directly fighting the Raveners or the Termagants. Yeah, Warp Spider's already lost a model.
Yeah, I mean they do some serious damage, but you still want to be kind of warping into cover, warping into advantageous positions. You don't just want to warp right in front of the Tyranid forces and take a fistful of fire. Like it's
yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he concedes with that. Yeah, like actually.
I really think he should have gotten that Ranger squad. The Lictor was proving such a nuisance.
Yeah, I mean, there was the Lictor. I think there are also, obviously, like as we just pointed out, there were definitely some things that were, some problems that were not the Lictor. Some of it was just kind of the positioning of those Guardian weapon teams, just leaving a spot where either the Warriors or the Hormigons could get around and then just get into melee before without even really being contested.
Yeah, his shuriken positioning was just not ideal.
By the way, show the game.
Ah. What do you guys just want to see something running around and doing opening caps?
You will stand against any enemy. You must save the lost one.
Interestingly, we also saw no commander upgrades last game, but that's both players were focused on squads and then getting to tier 2. I was kind of wondering if something like the heavy gauge Death Spinner for the Warp Spider Exarch might have been helpful against that Lictor Alpha. Kind of a moot point at this time, but certainly also interested to see like what kind of Plague Champion we're going to see this game. And what are we going to see out of our Farseer as well?
I feel like the default Plague Champion Bolter is so good against Eldar that you don't really want to switch it up at the beginning.
Do not fear to speak your mind. Support structure complete.
Then there's sometimes like I wonder like will we see like the early mutants discharge? I've definitely seen some really good things with that, with the sustainability you get out of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like I guess we'll see how it goes. We went for the double Heretics. We got the double Dire Avengers into Howling Banshees this time around. One generator going up over here.
Generators being bashed on both sides, both players focusing on the node rather than the generator.
Yeah,
double Dire Avengers doing it.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, the
Piano's
Banshees
gonna
are
pull
coming
back,
back
though.
around. I was curious to see just the Plague Champ and the Chaos Marines over there. I feel like that's often just not... The damage they do to gens just isn't quite worth it to stick around. Early game, you kind of would probably rather be capping or something like that. Here we go. Nice Doom Blast, suppressing the Banshees, allowing the Chaos Space Marines a little time to get some damage in. Meanwhile, Aspiring Champion Heretics over there with the Plague Champion pushing off some Dire Avengers. So a lot of positioning here. No one really committing to a fight quite yet. These guys want to get in that garrison, but they have to be careful. Is he going to still go for it with the 2 squads of Dire Avengers there? No, he
he'll just
decides to
straight up
retreat. He can't risk
Yeah,
the
it looked like it for a
Exarch.
second.
I mean, we can see that it's not coming, but you can't be sure of it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, like if he did get in there and the Dire Avenger aspect was put on it, he's very much like putting himself in a situation where he could potentially lose the squad. Like one grenade goes in, he's pressured out, then the Howling Banshees on retreat would just be like a real bad time for him.
Definitely. So one aspect coming in. Oh man, and then we're seeing like that. Stuck between the Heretics and the Plague Champion. This is not where the Dire Avengers want to be.
They'll throw a grenade, try to deter the approach. I mean, it does deter the approach, but it doesn't actually connect. And then it's just going to be a retreat. How many models lost in that half-health Dire Avenger squad?
Just a couple.
Well, Howling Banshees, I think you just want to go too. They might still lose a model on retreat.
Yeah,
Might make it two.
loses 2 there. So a little bit of bleed there, but the map is largely blue. Triple cap even against Piano right now. Rangers getting a little chip damage in on the Heretic squad. And we have Raptors coming out. So double Heretics into Raptors.
Generator operational.
Full gen farm for the Eldar. Only 2 gens
Yeah,
down for the
though.
Chaos so far.
Yeah, I think that comes with the territory of looking for Raptors as one of the heavier Tier 1 purchases that usually does mean that you're delaying put down some of your generators. He also has, of course, has to rebuy the node.
Now he did
until
purchase
after you get your Raptors.
Yeah, he did purchase the Bile Spewer on the Plague Champion now, so he's definitely looking to make a push on the generators right here. The Bile Spewer
Yeah.
also does like some deceptively good damage against all this Eldar light infantry.
Grenades go in. Oh no, both
It's a
Dire
big
Avengers.
whiff.
Yeah, not only that, they're both bunched up, so they'll both get suppressed by the Raptors, and they'll just have to retreat out of there. And that means that, yeah, I mean, this push is going to be good.
Yeah,
We'll
this
see
is,
how soon he can respond to it.
This is rough.
The enemy has destroyed one of our structures.
At least a
'Cause-
couple gens are going to go down, if not the whole farm. Everyone's running out here, fleet of foot to reinforce the position.
Raptors going to jump in again.
The Banshees are
They'll
here
jump in the
though.
Banshees.
Nice quick Doom Blast. I like that he like kind of hits the Doom Blast and gets out of there. A lot of people I feel like they'll hit that Doom Blast, then leave their Heretics in for a while, then they lose like 6 Heretics. It's not... And they don't really get anything extra done here. Man, look at the work that Bile's doing, slowing everything down here. The Banshees couldn't even really move to fully engage those Raptors well because half of them were caught in the Bile.
This is looking pretty rough for Ben now. I mean, as much as that starting bolter can be nice, like at longer ranges, if you can make a play with the Bile Spewer, I mean, basically at this point, this Bile Spewer basically did what it needed to do. Generator's going to be put down right in front of the Plague Champion, but he will be starting to run out of health, so he's going to have to get out of there.
Oh,
Ghost Helm.
Yeah, that was the Mind War we just saw in the Plague Champ. Almost took him down, too. I'm not sure Piano was expecting that, but fortunately reacted in time to get the Plague Champion out of there. Saw how fast his health was dropping. Saw that little red aura around him.
Mind War can be a scare. So, obviously, that was a nice play by Piano. Certainly puts him in a stronger position where he's just about to go to Tier 2. He's going to be ahead. He's got the better power income.
Yeah, the power farms are so close in this game that, like, as soon as you get pushed off, you can kind of immediately make a push for the power. You can see even the 2 Dire Avengers are just going to snag a Generator here, simply on the heels of the retreat of the Chaos. They can fall back now, but that's just a free gen for them.
And then, as was pointed out in the chat, which I only just noticed now, Ben is still holding the victory points by a pretty big margin.
Yeah, he still hasn't lost a point, and Piano's down to about half.
And I think some of that is, you know, a bit of a consequence of playing the Plague Champion, where he lacks mobility. He's so slow himself. Much of the way Piano's army works right now, it does require him to bunch much of his army up together. It's mostly that non-AC Tick squad that is committed to map control, and he's losing to the Eldar in that sense. I still think Piano has a pretty good shot of taking this game based on the tech lead. We'll probably see a Blood Crusher out of him because Piano is vehemently anti-Dreadnought. And Piano's going to have a little bit of trouble catching up in that regard. Not Piano, Ben.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem to be able to have the ability to hold ground against this Chaos force. So he's just bullying the Eldar off the map pretty reliably at this point. I mean, literally, pretty much just sitting just beyond the home base turret range. He's gonna get another Gen Bash in, it looks like. Even with Touch and Nurgle on the Heretics, so the Banshees can't come in here and engage. And I mean, you can see how powerful, even without being in melee, it just takes so long to kill the Heretics when every time one dies, they heal the rest of their squad models all the way up.
Again, I'm just going in hard for these Generators. And this, as much as Piano is so far behind in victory points, I think things, in my opinion, are actually starting to look a little bit scary for Ben, because he'll most likely be staring down a Blood Crusher in a minute or two. And both of these players didn't exactly go for armies that have a lot of units that can be upgraded to AV in Tier 2.
Yeah, Ben's not too far behind, but there's definitely going to be at least a period of time where the Blood Crusher is going to get to rule the map. But that said, despite Piano having been pushed back for so long, he hasn't really done much with it as far as the map. I mean, the map is still almost entirely Eldar. All the requisition points, all the power points. This is the first time that any points have popped off for Ben, so Ben still has plenty of time to bring this back around. Despite everything he's lost, he's sitting on a good pile of requisition. Again, like if we look at the Eco tab, it's 248 to 383 right now, as far as economy. So I mean, 150 almost extra rec a minute is pretty huge. Oh my gosh, look at this great cover
in on the right side, right into the Howling Banshees.
That was a nice play. He just assumed that it was the Ranger float there, but they were actually under a hollow field with the Banshees lying in wait, forcing off the Raptors. And for now, he's just going to have to dodge this Blood Crusher a little bit.
Yeah, that was a good bait.
Okay, so now we have Warp Spiders coming out here as well. The Blood Crusher is spotted. Instant retreat from the Dire Avengers.
Adding support structure.
And, man, still nothing on map control for Piano. Piano's kicking butt in the engagements. but he just can't keep up with the Eldar. His army is too slow.
Yeah, and the Chaos Space Marines left by themselves on this victory point. And the Farseer is going to buy a lot of time against them. Meanwhile, we're going to have Raptors engaged on the Dire Avengers as the Blood Crusher taking down quite a few of those models down to one model. Oh, Chaos Space Marine model dies to the Farseer by the natural victory point. That Farseer actually being so annoying at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, we've been seeing some good use of the Farseer. She's just been running around. She's been picking off models with the Mind War ability. And just generally being a nuisance.
An Exarch emerges from the warp generator.
And Piano's still not quite going to get a hold of the victory points. He's going to send the Blood Crusher down. Blood Crusher currently by itself. He's trying to move up to support it. He needs one of those units to capture his victory point as well. Non-AC Tick Squad will take care of that.
Yeah, now the Haywire Grenade isn't enough on its own. Are we seeing a Singing Spear or anything? Or is it literally, it's just the aspect of strength on the Banshees and the Warp Spider Squad Haywire Grenade. Now that can be enough to take out the Blood Crusher, but the engagement kind of has to be right. You kind of have to make sure your Banshees can get in there without taking too much fire. There's a lot of ifs on that.
At the moment, I think it's highly unlikely that Ben takes out the Blood Crusher just on these things. Like, if he does make it happen, it's going to need to revolve around basically forcing off the rest of the units first.
All right, well, here we go. And the excellent engage here, once again, under the guise of that hollow field. Raptors jump in, but they're gravely injured. Are the Banshees going to go straight for the Blood Crusher? Oh, the cloud comes down. Oh, the damage is so rough on those squishy Eldar
That's
squads.
one Avenger squad I think is going to go
no.
down. Oh, we might just barely get them both out alive.
Wow, both of them just narrowly escape.
They fight at close quarters.
Ben had to react almost instantly to that, and even now
Blood
that he
Crusher's
did,
still here.
oh no, here it comes. The Blood Crusher is looking to finish off some squads. The Banshees, with their aspect of strength, getting the heavy melee on that Exarch is actually quite damaging.
And I think Ben's hoping to see if maybe he'll have a Haywire up soon, but I think the Banshees, I was going to say, might need to retarget to the CSM, but the Warp Spiders will just take care of that.
And now we're seeing Blade Marines. Interesting.
Yeah, so I feel like the way that kind of works out is the Warp Spiders use the Haywire there, but in that case, they're not really expected to actually take out the Blood Crusher. It's more just to disable it, to buy time for the Howling Banshees to see if they can force off the rest of the army. But when they didn't, then once the Haywire wears off. Okay, now they might be able to do it, though. Blood Crusher is left by itself.
He's a little too brazen with that thing. Without any support, the Warp Spiders were able to pretty much set it up for the 1-2 punch the Haywire into that Banshee squad. With only 100 points remaining, this is looking rough for Piano.
Yeah, he's actually looking very rough right now. Although the Warp Spiders try to teleport out, but they don't go far enough. That's going to have to be a full retreat on the range spots from Ben. He's going to retreat his Howling Banshees as well, but he's still maintaining the double cap.
Yeah, I mean, not once have I, despite Piano doing what he's been doing. Now with the Plague Champion down as well, he has even less map presence. And the Farseer is just running the map. She's just constantly fleet-of-footing around. She does have the Singing Spear now as well. She's going to be even tougher to take down one-on-one. You're going to need to send a couple squads to deal with her.
And I honestly don't like the Plague Marines here. I mean, I don't know if he was expecting a vehicle. I know sometimes whenever I try to bring this up about, like, oh, I don't know about the Plague Marines, people are like, oh, but the damage over time is, like, good against the squads. But, like, if you look at the numbers, the anti-infantry numbers for the Plague Marines, they're not that good.
Yeah, they really aren't. I mean, they can win the long fight if they're in cover. But it's not like you're going to win an engagement off of the back of the Plague Marines. They kind of just are annoying.
Committing the touch of Nurgle here.
One-on-one.
And that is enough to force most of these squads to retreat.
But it's such a short retreat, and the Eldar are so quick that I'm not even sure if it's worth it. I know he needs everything he can get right now. What does he have over here? He has the heretics running around trying to cap that far victory point. But the Eldar are back home. They're healing up. They're getting ready to move forward.
Yeah, they're saying don't forget to use the gates.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
Ben seems to be doing fine on the map control without it.
Ben is sitting on 500 red, so he's going tier 3. He could have a lot of gates on the map if he wanted to, but he doesn't need it right now. May
Or
as
he
well
could
hold
just
out
throw
for
down
that
an
storm.
Eldritch Storm.
Exactly.
Is this Heretic squad gonna go down?
It looks like
Yes,
it.
it is.
Mind
It's
War went
absolutely
down
gonna
on
go
that
down.
aspiring champion, did huge damage to the whole squad. And there it goes, turned into bits by those warp spider death spinners. And for the first time, we see a little bit of victory point bleed coming in. Oh my gosh, this grenade obliterates some of the Chaos Space Marines, but nice jump and phase from the Bloodletters and Chaos Raptors.
Took out the aspiring champion on the CSM squad as well.
Oh, that was the it was the aspiring champion. So that's at least a small victory for those grenades.
So what does Ben do at this point? I mean, he actually has so much red that he could actually just throw down an Eldritch, which, I mean, Eldritch obviously it could go either way. Where like it could be a big miss. At the same time, it could also outright win the game for him at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of the global nukes that you need to set up. You kind of want the enemy to be a little distracted when you drop it, because it takes a little time to go off, as most of them do. But now we see a shrine going down here, so really going to try to hold this position between the Bloodletters and the Plague Marines. If they get some worship going down with this shrine, it's going to be a pretty hard position to break. Here comes the Eldar forces, though. It's still a lot to deal with. Let's see how it goes down.
Got some Seer Council with him now.
Oh my gosh. The Seer's in there, and the Heretics just disappeared. There wasn't even time for them to get any worship off. The Bloodletters are out here, but without worship support, they actually go down fairly quick. They phase out. The Singing Spear in here, obliterating Chaos Space Marines. Touch and Nurgle doing what it can, but the Eldar forces are just too much. The ranged and melee damage, I mean, it's just so superior at this point. With Banshees, a Seer Council, Dire Avengers, Warp Spiders, and all the buffs that the Farseer brings to the table on top of that. I mean, what were you going to do against this?
Yeah, he's gonna call the GG at this point because I think I think, although he was actually getting a back cap. No, yeah, he was getting a back cap, but
yeah, with his lone Chaos Raptor. Oh dear.
well, yeah, he calls the GG on that one, realizing he's probably not gonna be able to. Like at most, he has like one more push attempt.
Sure.
Like
yeah.
he just has time for one last attempt.
You're right.
But I don't think he had the units realistically to fight Ben's army anymore.
No, I mean, we kind of saw right there. Like, even if the Raptors were there, I'm not sure it would have gone too much differently. I mean, one of the keys really was getting the worship out of there right away. Denying the heals and reinforcement at that Chaos Shrine is pretty big. And uh-oh. We've got
Ooh,
Ben
look what we got here.
as the brother captain.
Are you gonna look for some double strike squad business?
I don't know if we'll see that or not. Good luck, have fun, and Grey Knights. Sorry.
Yes, Bruce. Ben did random Farseer last game.
You like it more? It's actually more into the lore. Yeah, I mean, I can get behind that. I'm really not into... I'm not a lore over gameplay kind of guy. But we can talk about that when we're not doing some show matches sometime. In the meantime, we've got ISTs coming out. We got the Tactical Marines coming for the Apothecary. And, I don't know. I guess we'll see how this match goes. I don't think I've actually ever seen a one-on-one with Apothecary versus Grey Knights. I just... I don't think I have.
I don't know if I have either, or if I have, it's been a very, very long time. So Ben's actually going for... He's not going for the double strike squad, which... If anything, it makes more sense to me. I feel like, you know, aside from the, like, double banishment cheese, I think this build is actually a little bit more realistic in 1v1 in most cases. Like, it's more fundamental, and it's, like, probably time-tested before that banishment thing was even introduced.
Sure, sure. I mean, the ISTs can lock down... They can pretty much force off the scouts early, so they really take the map control pretty well, I think, in the Space Marine matchup. Although that said, some of them ran into some tactical marines on the far side, which is exactly what they don't
Yeah,
want to
not
be
a good
doing.
position for those ISTs. I think they need to get out of there before they start losing like 2-3 models just from tac force melee. There's one.
Yeah, I mean, the
There's
Apothecary
two.
could even
Apothecary
smack
might make
another...
it 3.
Wow, how did that not take one down? Oh, poor Apothecary.
Yeah, that Apothecary chainsword not that bad. Apothecary not really a damage hero.
Nope. Scout does go down on retreat on the far side. No gens down for either player yet, so I'm sure we're going to be seeing like another couple squads come out here shortly. However, the Apothecary and the Tac stomping around on the other side of the map, forcing Ben's victory point off. And it looks like they are going to respond to this attempt at the gen bash by the strike squad. Although
Almost
that's going
definitely a
to be
Assault Marine purchase. There it is.
That's going to be a really hard squad to peel off of that node. Both players not hesitating to really take advantage of these garrisons in the early game. Early game, they're extraordinarily effective. Later game, as more options become available, it becomes very much less so.
This is actually a strong situation for the Tax and the Apothecary, because the Tax, they'll just activate Kraken Bolts, and the Apothecary is going to have a heal at some point. He's also proccing the special attacks. So Strike Squad actually want to just look to get out of here before they lose a model. Might be forced melee opportunity.
Not quite gonna get them, it looks like. Those are the pretty
hope.
hardy boys.
All right, meanwhile, Assault Squad. There's the Assault
Ben
Squad.
is doing such a good job just being annoying with the ISTs, ninja capping stuff while different fights go around. He just decapped the piano's supernatural power and all that. So, I mean, not power, but requisition. So, it's looking very good for Ben so far.
Yeah, getting the decap right here, and on the far side as well, you can see, again, piano down to just the one requisition point and a couple power points. So that's something we've been seeing consistently well with Ben, is that he kind of knows exactly how much he needs to commit to a fight, while also allowing him to spread out and take map control. We have the interceptors out here now as well. So we've got dueling jump squads along with the Nemesis Four Sword on the Brother Cat.
Nemesis Four Sword is an interesting one. Usually I feel like I will see like Ordo Malleus players forego this so that they can get one of the more powerful weapons later on. So it's obviously it's two things. He's going to see what value he can get out of that We Are the Hammer, and the Brother Captain is definitely going to chunk the Tactical Marines and the Assault Marines a little bit harder than he otherwise would in Tier 1 with the starting weapon.
Yeah, I think that gives him a little more oomph against the Assault Marines when they choose to jump in on the army. Of course, he's not here to support right now, and the ISTs get caught out here. Apothecary healing himself up pretty well. He does have now the Sanguine Chainsword, so he's going to be a little more beefy, but still can't take too much punishment here.
Yeah, I mean, they were kind of just outnumbered there, so even with Apothecary, as powerful as the Apothecary ASM combination is, it was just outnumbered. And using the heal on himself also isn't really the desirable play.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like any time I'm playing Apothecary and I make him use the heal on himself, I feel like, yeah, I won that.
Oh man, this map control for Ben. Ben looking so strong today.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this was gonna be, I guess I would say a closer match, but it's so far it's been seeming very dominant from Ben.
Now, at least this game, very, very far from over. Haven't really seen... I mean, I think we saw the one node get destroyed, or was it even destroyed? I'm pretty sure it was, but either way, there hasn't been a huge amount of power harassment on either side, so... We have a...
Ben killed one node from piano, but that's probably pretty much the only power harass that has been going on.
We definitely have a bit of an economic advantage for Ben, kind of based on that map control. So he should get to Tier 2 first, but not sure how much faster he'll be there.
Alright, so here's an engage over here. Assault Marines jumping in, forcing out the strike squad. The ISTs look like they're going to try to make a sneaky escape on the interceptors.
Grenade on retreat!
Ooh, not quite hitting, but manages to take out a model anyways. Got that lead boy down one way or another, turned him into bits. And meanwhile, and see, this is kind of little stuff that I don't see from a lot of players. A lot of players would have just like, all right, I lost the engagement. I'm going to retreat the interceptors. But Ben just walks the interceptors away, teleports over to the other side, keeps harassing power. That's just like one more thing for Piano to deal with that prevents him from even capping back his natural requisitions. All these requisition points, I mean, how often do you play Greentooth Gorge and you don't have the one right in front of your base? Just think about that from a player perspective. Because that has been captured twice now by Ben.
Piano's not even going to get it back. Interceptors move forward. So there's actually so much value that he got out of not retreating those interceptors, kind of as you pointed out before.
Yeah, it's very well done. He's creating so many problems for Piano, like he just runs around trying to extinguish some random fires all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's forcing Piano to play so reactively.
Like, then puts another little fire up somewhere else. It's very well done.
ISTs in mid don't even have to retreat, and then just means the assault squad are outnumbered. They're going to take more damage from the ISTs as the strike squad and the interceptors engage them in melee.
Yep, and they even donated some more energy to the interceptor squad again, so they have another teleport if they so choose.
Man, Apothecary has to use heal on the scouts to make sure that they don't lose a model and continue their capping of the natural victory point.
So, Piano hitting tier 2. Ben's already there. We've got the Rhino coming out here shortly. Interceptors get their Justicar. All the tier 2 stuff starting to come online ahead for the Grey Knight player here.
That classic metal box coming out of Ben. Will we see a Razorback out of Piano? Oh man, there's a Terminator Librarian right behind that.
Oh, interesting.
That Rhino.
I feel like I see him so rarely in the matchup.
And I think even more importantly is we didn't see that coming, but it had to be queued up like right behind the Rhino. We just didn't see it. So he's like almost like hiding that in there. So actually, I think he was doing quite a bit better economically, whereas Piano, it's like, is he going to get a Razorback? At this point, he has the resources to get a Razorback, but he seems to be looking for something else.
Yeah, he's holding out for something here. We're seeing the las cannon come up on the Rhino over here. So making that thing particularly nasty for a transport in tier 2. A hard anti-vehicle counter, but it tends to do quite reasonable anti-infantry damage as well. Piano's getting a little frustrated.
Where they created a new damage type for the Rhino las cannon. It doesn't actually do like the same damage type as a las cannon Predator. And I think they did that so it still has some effect against infantry. Uh-oh. Piano is about to lose the Apothecary.
Oh man.
Maybe not.
It looks like he'll escape. Can they get a teleport in to finish him off? It looks like they're not going to go for it. They don't have the energy anyways.
Still learning.
Still learning, he says. Oh man, 195 to 417, and Ben says still learning. It looks like he's going to make a move on the gen farm, try to finish this game out, put Piano out of the game once and for all. As Piano's holding out, I don't know what he's waiting for at this point, if not a Dreadnought. He's got the power and requisition.
At this point, honestly, I think he's thrown in the towel. No, he's going to get out. He's going to go for a Dreadnought. We'll see how that works.
All right.
I mean, the funny thing is, like, if we really think about it, part of what's going on here for Ben is I feel like he's not just playing Ordo Malleus. I feel like he's literally still playing Eldar with, like, kind of the style that he's playing, the control that he has over the map, the harassment as the way that Nerlin put it, the just creating problems.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a good point, the Eldar analogy, because he's very much playing the map control game, capping points, holding his squads around, not really committing a lot in the fights, more just having smaller skirmishes and just trying to cap map, try to see hope where he can find an opening, very high awareness so far from him.
If we have to talk about like kind of one of the unit matchups where I feel like Ben is like really outperforming Piano, it's kind of how well Ben is using his ISTs versus how well Piano is using his scouts. Like the ISTs, they're either focusing someone down at range who doesn't have a realistic chance of like firing back at them, or they're just getting so many victory points. I don't know if you guys got that extended scream at the end.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. Was that the brother? Was that the brother captain? Does he make the Force Commander yell when he uses We Are the
I
Hammer?
have
Maybe.
no idea. I have no idea. That might be it, but that was so long.
No, it was very dramatic. Cornholio says that was piano screaming through the internet.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh, someone clip that. Alright. So that's going to be 3-0 for Ben. Piano, better luck next time. Piano's taken on a couple tough customers these past couple Fridays, so now it looks like Piano's kind of with Bruce, where he's taking on these hard fights, not quite managing to get himself a win. Much closer last week with Best Noob.
Yeah, it is. It is very interesting. I mean, we're definitely getting some great players in this who are finding themselves kind of struggling. Although I guess we also need to, certainly give the credit to Ben, who, like, I certainly knew he was good, but if anything, he surpassed my expectations today. Honestly, giving Piano quite a beating. I did not expect that.
For me personally, I feel like it's a good matchup for Eldar, but I've heard that DarkHero actually knows how to play the matchup very well with Force Commander, so looking forward to seeing how he handles things.
Yeah, I think it could be slightly Eldar favored, but the Force Commander can also make it happen. So I don't think it's super one-sided in any regard, and these two players, I think, so long as Bruce claims that he's warmed up and ready to go now, I think we'll be good to go. All right, on the bottom side, we've got DarkHero as our Force Commander. Up top, Bruce Campbell as the Warlock. Eldar versus Space Marine on Quest Heresy. Let's do it. Double Scouts coming out, so Scouts first. Are we going to see more Scouts or Tactical Marines? We've got Banshees in from Bruce Campbell. And
It's gonna be
it's going to be Tax.
yeah, no extra scouts yet at least, and he didn't rush power, so yeah, I'm thinking tax, yeah.
Yep, so pushing the Scouts into the center of the map, Force Commander goes for the far power node, and I guess the Tax will... Or no, the Scouts are coming back. Okay, this is an interesting cap order he's going for.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
I guess he's prioritizing Requisition right now, but then like also getting the forward power, the contested node on the far side.
Yeah.
I guess because he has to spread out early, take a few points, and then he kind of has to gather his army up, I guess, for an actual push.
Yeah.
Spots the Dire Avengers with the Force Commander, decides not to engage.
Bruce is already getting his shit together and pushing, so it's
Yeah, the Force Commander is actually stranded away from his army right now.
okay, he
Activates
gets the
his
fight
battle
against
cry,
Ban.
knocks back Banshees.
Yeah, and
Tax.
he got the fight near a wall, and he's actually using hold position there, so blood shotgun.
So shotguns are the first purchase. They come in just in time for that engagement. Force off the Banshees, and now the Force Commander gets to chase down the Dire Avengers while the rest of the Space Marine army forces off the Warlock. Might manage to get a attack model here, but looks like they survived the special attack, so they should be alright. Both nodes now get popped for DarkHero, and the map is free for him to spread out and capture some points.
It's a very good first engagement for DarkHero.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was good positioning. Like, the Force Commander I thought was actually going to be in a bad spot, but he managed to isolate himself so that he could just fight the Banshees one-on-one with his battle cry while the rest of the Space Marines did their work. And
yes, and also he chose a really nice spot to fight the Banshees. He was behind the line of sight blocker, so he could not be shot. And because his back was in the wall, he couldn't be fully surrounded by the Banshees. So the only Banshees that could actually fight him would get constantly knocked over by the battle cry, so it was a very good spot for the Force Commander to fight.
yeah, very cool. Alright, so we've got a Shuriken weapon out, we've got power generator down for the Space Marine, and Bruce Campbell's coming back onto the field with his Eldar stuff, so we'll see if he can make this next engagement go a little bit more in his favor. Currently, the Shuriken out on the far side, recapturing some Requisition Scouts, and Dire Avengers kind of positioning around, keeping an eye on each other. and both players trying to position as well as possible for the upcoming battle.
I think DarkHero, I think he's gonna go for ASM next, right?
Yeah, that seems like the obvious choice, especially, I mean, once he spots the Shuriken, if he wasn't already planning on the assaults, he's got to be thinking of it now. It's still a few seconds off. Shotgun's finding out the Banshees. Bruce isn't paying attention. Oh my gosh, is he going to lose the Banshees? He wasn't even looking.
That's bad.
What is happening?
Or it's not optimal.
Oh dear. Was he just not paying attention over there? It didn't
Oh,
seem like a lot was
then he's
happening
gonna
elsewhere.
catch the Shuriken
Grenade
now.
comes in on the shirt. Oh my gosh, he's just getting outplayed so hard right now. DarkHero's making sure if he wasn't awake, he better start waking up now because things are getting pretty dicey pretty fast.
So on top of playing like shit, the Shuri gets... he got the setup bug with the Shuri. That
Oh
sucks.
no.
That sucks.
I feel like that stuff always happens to add insult to injury.
That's so frustrating when it happens.
Yeah, it's
at
always the
that
worst.
spot.
It so easily costs you in an engagement. Oh dear.
0 models lost by DarkHero.
Or something like that. Let's hope he's a little more into it this time around. Scouts coming out again, along with Banshees. We're seeing pretty much the repeat build from before. We'll see how DarkHero decides to go for the caps here. It looks like he's pushing the right side hard. He's going to take the VP and the Requisition right out of the gate.
Okay.
He likes this
No,
double
he's gonna
scout
go
opening.
harass. Yeah, he's sending the scouts to harass the power.
Oh, interesting.
That's
He seems to have plans for most of these maps, like, as soon as he starts, whereas a lot of people, I feel like, just
the FC
will open
is
up
going
with
to harass the
3
scout.
caps, you know?
Yeah, but the FC is going to harass the power, and the scouts are going to go for.
Oh, he got the note up just in time.
If you try to go for a decap there, I don't think this is.
Yeah,
Great start.
now he's in a bit of a tight spot because he's got his army out of position. He didn't get the decap. Banshees and Dire
Use
Avengers
Battle
moving
Cry.
in. Yeah, his battle cry's on cooldown, isn't it? He already used it once.
Yeah.
He's just gonna hide away, I guess, for a little bit till it comes on cooldown. I guess that's fair enough. Don't often see these garrisons used, but this whole wall over here on Fedrid Folly, there's 4 garrisons, 1, 2, 3, 4 right there.
I think this is fine for him to, because he's holding the double Dire Avengers with the scouts and hero, so I think that's okay.
Yeah, he's buying time. Like, it's not really costing him anything. He turned what was a not great situation into one that might be tenable. He's got to be careful. The Banshees, he doesn't know where the Banshees are, so I think this is a bit brazen, but luckily they are on the far side.
He sees the shotgun, he sees the Banshees are not with Dire Avengers, so he's getting the shotgun, so I think he's assuming that they are pushing the VP side of the map. Oh, he used the shotgun blast on the Warlock.
Yeah, I think he kind of had to here.
Yeah, I think that was the right call, because now he has like full HP squads.
Yeah, and I think the scouts and Tax can actually tangle with the Banshees pretty well. At least soften them up for the Force Commander to come back out, if nothing else.
Oh, he's getting disarmed, so if the Banshees fight, he can just, you know, melee... Try to melee the Tax, he can just drop a nade there.
Yep. So nice like reactive play here after that first push not going quite to his plan, but still managing to pull it out here, forcing off both the Warlock and the Banshees with these 2 squads on the far side. However, his power's under a little distress. Of course, the Force Commander is going to be able to come in here and shoo off these Guardians.
Maybe? No? Okay. Oh, he could have forced melee with the scouts. Okay, so yeah, that was full gen farm straight away. He's gonna go for heavy scout upgrades now.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna forego that requisition that fast, you're probably not really looking for something expensive like Assault Marines. We already see that Bruce did invest in the Merciless Witchblade. Nice knockback on the scouts there. Grenade goes down, but really all it does is maybe save a model or 2 on the scouts. Still 2 models go down. Banshee's coming in here along with the Warlock. That's going to be enough to scare off those tactical Marines for the time being.
Death before dishonor.
The Eldar are
So
claiming
far,
a
so
victory
good.
point.
Yep, and Ranger's now out for Bruce as well.
I think that's a good thing for Bruce.
I mean, with how hard Hero is going to be playing these scouts, I think it's going to be really important to try to get some chip damage in on those less beefy squads. Kind of make him think twice about committing to close range shotguns, grenades, that sort of thing. If you can keep those scouts a little softened up, they can't be so brazen and go for those kind of closer range abilities. And it looks like Bruce is just kind of playing a split army here. He's got his melee forces on one side, he's got his range forces on the other.
Fortifications are under assault.
Scouts ready.
And as it stands right now, it's a 1-0 cap, about to turn into a, well, I guess it's just going to be a 2-1 cap after this. Dire Avengers pressuring the tower yet again. The Rangers are going to join the fight after they capture that victory point. And on the far side, Banshees... Oh, the Scouts are setting up for a grenade right here. Let's see if Bruce gives it to him. He's charging in. The grenade goes down! Nails the Banshees. Is that going to be enough to kill the squad? The suppression stops the shotgun.
Do 80 damage. Yeah, no, we're not gonna do 80 damage.
So yeah, that's suppression. Luckily they got that Banshee shriek in. If the Scouts had managed to continue firing while the Banshees were on their back, I think that would have been it. But as it stands, they got out. The Gen Farm might lose this last generator. Nope, he decides better of it. The Force Commander's moving in on the flank. Everything gets suppressed, getting knocked back by the battle cry as well, and ultimately forced to retreat.
Losing those 2 gens sucks. Especially since Bruce is going so heavy on the power.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's 39 to 69 as power income. You can see even the extra generator on that central gen farm right there. So, despite having some great engagements early on, we're going to start seeing a pretty heavy tech discrepancy. Nice kinetic shot there, knocking the tax over. Oh my gosh, more knockbacks coming in from the Banshees. The Devastator's trying desperately to get into a nice firing position. It might just be enough if they can stop the Warlock from getting the combat jump. Yeah, the suppression goes down just in the nick of time. Dire Avengers over here as well, but now all of the Space Marine forces are coming to bear. All these upgraded scouts are nothing to scoff at. We have a tactical Marine drop coming in as well. Oh my gosh, and this is going to be a huge play here from DarkHero.
That's a reinforcement.
Oh, that's the reinforcement drop. Oh no, those grenades are kind of a big whiff. I feel like if he would have thrown them at the scouts, he would have had a better shot there. Loses, oh my gosh, 4 models to that scout grenade. That was pretty nice.
It's going to be rough to hold. And DarkHero capped the entirety of the left side of the map as well.
Yeah, the scouts were just doing their work over there, and now the gens are in a lot of trouble. Looks like he might be able to save some of these. Oh, the kinetic shot didn't quite hit the Devastator. Distortion field down on the Banshees. The scouts, I don't think, have their shotguns. They drop a grenade, but is it going to be enough? Oh my gosh. 3 health. 1
health?
Nope, it escapes.
Yeah, they managed.
Oh my gosh.
That's
super
so lucky.
fortunate. That was very risky. It worked out, but I'm not sure that was the way he wanted that to go. Dev even turns around just in time to stop the Banshee approach, and now the generators get completely burned down. Bruce is heading into tier 2 though. He still has that stray gen on the center point, so actually all that's done has even out the power. It actually hasn't even given him a power advantage. It just kind of closed the tech gap a little bit. Now, if the Force Commander can burn down this node and maybe take the central power back, that would be something else. But it looks like he's starting to overstay his welcome just a little bit. He might want to make sure he tries to cut his losses before this gets into some costly model losses here, but he does have the scouts coming back out here. Oh no, and that's exactly what he wanted. He wanted time for the devs to set up just as he broke off. The dev isn't actually shooting. There we go, at the Warlock, but manages to retarget. No full retreat, even using a For the Emperor there just in case the Warlock was going to try to charge at the Devastator. Wanted to make sure that there was no chance at that. Oh my gosh, the Banshees are trying to get in on it. One more volley and it could be too dangerous. Yeah, the scouts are moving forward, trying to threaten grenades on retreat as well. And now a grenade goes down. He reacts a little slowly, almost loses the whole squad. That was a costly one.
DarkHero late, like super late on teching to tier 2, but all in all, like if he...
Oh my gosh, DarkHero didn't see the grenade! He must have looked away at just the wrong time. He loses the tac squad. Losing the tac squad moments before the Falcon hits the field.
I really like his spot up until that moment. Like, sure he was behind in tech and so on, but...
I saw the energy bar go down on those Guardians, and I just thought, I was like, man, I mean, as you said before, like, those are kind of ambitious grenades. But I guess he timed it just right. DarkHero must have been back at his base reinforcing or something like that, because he reacted about a split second too late, lost the tax, and now Falcon's out here to really punish the army loss, because that's kind of the core to your army right there. And now those Falcons just kind of come out here and shred scouts, pressure the Devastator. I mean, Dark is heading into tier 2, but let's see what he's got coming up next. He's not far off from a Dreadnought. He could bring out some other stuff as well. There's a lot of options here. What do you think his best move is here as DarkHero after losing the tac squad?
I honestly don't know.
That's such a rough loss. It really, because he was, like you said, it was a late tech. He was playing into his tier 1 strengths. He was doing really good jobs here. Oh man, that was a good attempt, but
yeah, that was a cool move, but
a bit of a whiff there.
Oh no.
Hero has tons of requisition. He's going, yeah. So he is going to go for the Dreadnought.
I think that's a good move.
That's probably his best bet as far as that goes. There's the grenade we were looking for. The Sarge was a bit too beefy to go down to just that grenade. He does lose his 2 initiates though.
I don't know. Dreaded maybe drop hot tax.
Yeah, I think you just need I think you need a squad of tax just to have that beef, have that extra firepower. I mean, at this stage in the game, you're just going to turn them right into stern guards, assuming that is that Hero can get some power and hold it, because he is hurting pretty bad right now. You can see the entire map has gone from blue to red. Eldar taking over everything on the heels of that big victory there. It's funny how quickly just one grenade can turn the tides of battle. Both sides trying to throw some grenades down. That was a bit of a goofy one there. Maybe trying to psych him out that it was a split and throwing it where he thought. You get to the point where like the grenades start becoming this weird mind game where like you throw it right on the squad or maybe you throw it slightly behind the squad. If it has the same trajectory, sometimes you can pull that off where it looks like it's going to one spot, but it's actually just behind.
Yeah.
Oh, the scouts! Ooh, but the las cannon covering. Let's see, do we have an upgrade coming for the Force Commander? Not quite. It looks like he was just maybe trying to path block a little bit. Bright Lance Cannon is up, but the Force Commander is going to be able to disrupt that easily enough. Scouts lose to the Rangers on the far side of the map as well, and this is looking very much in the favor of Bruce Campbell. This Dreadnought has a lot of work to do to get DarkHero back into this game.
Yeah, I don't know how he's gonna win this. I just don't know. Like if he had a decent power economy, I think he would be fine. Like he could actually buy upgrade. Like he would lose Bleeds and VPs, but he would actually have an army that could give him a comeback. Like he could snipe vehicles, play the map control game and so on. But right now he can't really. He has a hard time fighting like straight up engagements, and he can't really play the map control game either.
Yeah, I mean, I think his best bet, honestly, right now. I mean, it looks like it was kind of what he was going for, but he wasn't able to quite pull it off because the Warlock got all up in his grill. But I think his best bet is to kind of try to hug this left side of the map, Like, if he can get the Dreadnought up on the high ground along with his las cannon, he can make it pretty difficult for the Eldar to approach as well. But now the Bright Lance is in position. It's going to take him a long time to get that Dreadnought back prepared and healthy for the coming engage. And he's going to force off this Bright Lance, or maybe it'll just retreat back to the Falcon. Either way, there's going to be enough time for the Bright Lance to get set back up with the repairs that are needed on that Dreadnought. You can see the Rangers are still hugging the far side, and we've got a Whirlwind coming on. Alright.
It's not a bad choice. It's really gonna hurt.
Let's see if he's paying attention to the scouts. The Rangers are just gonna start picking away, knocks them back.
Our initiates has fallen.
Yeah, okay, he does respond this time. He finds the Rangers, gives them the knockback. The shotgun scouts, even getting some for the Emperor, making sure that he can get that victory point. He's down to 100 points. He's trying to do something to get back into this. He's fighting hard. It's possible. He needs to win this next engagement pretty hard. The Bright Lance is in position.
He needs to kill the Falcon. That's the first thing.
So if he can dislodge the Bright Lance... Oh my gosh, it's just way too much damage.
Yeah, there's...
There he goes. He gets the hit on the Bright Lance, but I'm not sure he's aware of it quite yet. Unfortunately, he needed to cap with the Scouts. The Scouts get engaged by the Banshees, and that's probably going to be the game. Drops a grenade, but with only 60 points remaining and a 2-0 cap, he has about 20 seconds left to get something done with the VPs, and I just don't think the time is there. The Scouts are going kamikaze on the point. Oh no! But this time the Whirlwind fires at the Warlock instead of anything useful. Tack Colin comes in, keeps the Bright Lance from setting up, buying time. This could be just enough, but I don't know. There's nothing on the far side point either. The Tactical Marines are trying to get down to the far victory point, but there's just not enough time. A couple good plays there. Nice disruption to at least break apart the Eldar formation, but it was just a little bit too late. And, oh, maybe I spoke too soon. 6, 5, 4... Oh my gosh, he's gonna stop the timer at 2 points remaining. And he bought himself just enough time to maybe get himself another engagement or two. He's gonna fight with what he has. He's gonna fight till the very end. Breaking apart the webway. Where is the Bright Lance? The Bright Lance is nowhere to be seen. The Falcon is level, or tier 3 though, and does have its energy field upgrade, so
He needs to prevent the cap now.
can he get those Guardians off the point? He hits the knockback, he keeps them off. The Dreadnought's charging at the Falcon, even slams the ground. I feel like that was just frustration more than to any
He's getting
effect.
ninja cap.
Oh, and on the back line, sneaky Banshees finish off the game.
Yeah, I think DarkHero would have been fine if he didn't lose the tax there. Like, I feel like it would have still been rough for a while because he wouldn't have had a real counter for the Falcon for a while, but the tax would have just given him so much, just like beefiness to be able to withstand the Dire Avengers so much better.
Yeah, it's just
And
it's
he
just
could have
that
maybe held his power
sustainability.
a bit better. Like he could have maybe held his power, and then he would have been able to get them into Stern Guards, buy some hero war gear and stuff. Because
Yeah,
like once you get the Telefist Force Commander, and you have the your Devastators, possibly a Dread or a Whirlwind, the Falcon dies really easily if he doesn't have the shield.
DarkHero's been playing only Force Commander so far, right?
Yeah, these past
Yeah.
2 matches have only been Force
It's all
Commander.
Force Commander, Plague Champion now for Bruce Campbell.
Thank you, camera. There we go. You ever alt tab out and the game thinks your alt button is stuck down?
Yes, yes.
I was just-
find it
I
quite
was
annoying.
just
Usually
getting
not
that.
too hard to fix, but
Yeah, you
yes.
normally just tap it again, but it seems to miss the upstroke when you tab back in for some reason. Oh,
Where are these
triple
scouts going?
Scouts. All right, triple scouts versus
Yeah.
the Plague Champ. Now, did he declare that he was Plague Champ, or did he just say Chaos?
I don't remember. So scouts moving forward, they won't actually be able to disrupt this if Bruce would stop doing it. They might get a model or two. In the end, I kind of like the idea at first, but I mean, at the most, what is he going to get here? Like a model? I guess he'll get... Okay, now that there are two scouts, he'll start getting some models.
Ultimately, it just softens them up for the coming engagement. And if you can get one of those heretic squads off early against Chaos, that just frees one scout squad up to cap wherever those heretics are, and the other can go and back up the rest of the forces. Now, I'm not sure exactly how it's going to play with the triple scout build. He did go for a quick node, but it looks like he's keeping all the scouts up north away from the force commander. And it feels like the Plague Champ should have no problem pushing this away.
I'm just wondering how that works out, because that was a lot of time that his scouts spent shooting and not capping. They could have actually had like two points captured in the time that they were harassing that heretic squad.
Generator operational.
Yeah, it's a tough call. We're just gonna have to see how Dark plays this.
So
that
yeah,
said,
triple
he's
scout.
buying time for the force commander to kind of run around and do his thing too. I think it's just constant, like, just kind of testing your opponent's attention, right? Especially with those two heretic squads early. The scouts can kind of move back and forth, so you kind of get that back and forth of like, all right, are you going to chase me? Am I going to run? If you turn around, am I going to chase you back? Like, you have all that cat and mouse between the early scouts and the early heretics. And you're just waiting kind of for one side to slip up and either start losing models or, you know, let the heretics actually get within melee charge range of the scouts. You can see right there,
Ooh,
yeah.
wow.
See, as
Scouts
soon
actually
as-
have to retreat there.
Yep.
That honestly strikes...
Scouts ready. Traitors, attack.
Go ahead.
Good position. Traitors to the left.
Did we lose you?
Scouts here. Go ahead.
Alright, it's possible we lost Cretella. We should still be in the Discord channel. If I'm not Cretella, shoot me a message on Steam or something. Otherwise, check your voice settings,
Ready to serve.
because you cut off in the middle of a thought there. But I guess I'll keep the game going in the meantime.
Issuing new weapon loadouts.
So, what are our upgrades looking like now? We have shotguns on 2 squads, Force Commander still vanilla, and a full gen farm for both sides.
We are losing.
So I think Bruce identified that with the triple scouts, he doesn't have to go super power investment yet either, so he dropped all his gens, he got himself a Havoc squad. He's ready to start dealing with this. Nerland, if you're around, you can feel free to hop in too, since it seems we lost Maestro. Aspiring champion coming down over here, and man, that Plague champion, you just can't stick around with the scouts around that. He almost lost 2 miles just for brushing across the firing arc of that Plague champ there. And both sides now just going for like big upgrades on the squads they have available. Shotgun scouts, one with the Sarge, the second now with the Sarge. This Havoc in a lot of trouble. Let's see how the grenades land. One goes down a little late, not quite connecting. This one's very early. That one's not going to hit at all. We're gonna have to teach DarkHero some grenade timings. He says he's feeling rusty. Yeah, I mean, in theory, that could have been easily a dead Havoc if those grenades had connected. Aspiring champion Heretics moving in on the Force Commander, who does have his Iron Halo, giving him that energy bubble, letting him pop through all these Heretics. The Heretics Doom Blast, but unfortunately it was only the Aspiring champion that was anywhere near the scouts. I'm not sure if he was looking to suppress those scouts or not. The shotguns and Battlecry keeping the Heretics constantly on their backs. 2 squads of Aspiring Champion Heretics get routed pretty easily by the Scouts and Force Commander. 1 Scout squad now suppressed by the Havocs, but the Force Commander tears on, keeps harassing everything he can. The Scout squad needs to get out of there, and now, oh my gosh, those Havocs are so good. They suppress so quickly. All it takes is a couple shots and instant suppression. Now, spotting the Havoc. You can see Dark has already got his Assault Marines on the way.
Ready for duty.
Bruce going for an extra gen on the far side over here, keeping his tier 1 relatively light.
Deploying war gear.
Light as far as new squads. He has spent quite a bit of power, but he's been making up for that pretty well. He got the Havocs, he's got 2 Aspiring Champions. I guess that's all he got, really, though. I was expecting to see only War maybe on the Chaos Space Marines, but not all that pricey when it comes down to it, when you consider the fact that we've got Assault Space Marines, a couple fully upgraded Scout squads, and a 3rd with shotguns. So not small investments from Dark, but oh man, here comes the third Sarge now. So we're gonna have 3 squads of shotgun scouts. Let's see if he can utilize them well. It's all about the positioning, micro, and ability usage with these squads because they themselves are not that powerful. But if you support them right, get the grenades down when you can, and not quite enough to finish off the Plague Champion. A nice grenade spike there. Throwing down the grenade, dodging the damage, almost finishing off the Plague Champ himself.
We must reverse the course of
Force Commander charging forward against the Chaos Space Marines that are already quite injured and the Havoc moving into a better position. I don't know if he's seen the Assault Space Marines yet, but it looks like he has no clue because those Havocs are just moving forward. And this looks like it's going to be an easy retreat here, forced by the Assault Space Marines.
our generators is
And
under attack.
we have, ooh, Heretics on the generators. This could be some juicy gen damage. However, on the opposing side, we see DarkHero may perhaps stealing the gens of Bruce over here, who is already heading into Tier 2. DarkHero might have spent a little bit too much power here at this stage of the game, because you can see Bruce heading into Tier 2 already with 80 power in the bank. And Val is gonna be about another minute until he even gets to hit the Tier 2 button. So things are looking pretty rough here for Dark. Now Dark hasn't been playing too much recently. The past few weeks for him, he's been finishing up some classes, doing a lot of exams. If you've been around the past few Friday night fights, he's been saying he hasn't really had time to play or come out, unfortunately. This time scouts are over here. Let's see if he has the grenade available. He's trying to juke it. And here comes the grenade now. If he throws it right now. Oh, he whiffed it. Might still tag a model. Yeah, he manages to get one.
Ready.
And the Blood Crusher's coming out. So Blood Crusher, oh man, it's actually the Requisition that's holding DarkHero back right now. But yeah, I mean, when you can see, if the Blood Crusher comes out and you haven't even hit the Tier 2 button, you're in for a couple minutes of pain while that Blood Crusher gets to run around on the map. Grenade comes out, manages to tag 2 models, just barely misses the third. If that Havoc had gone down, I'd say DarkHero might be in a pretty reasonable spot. But as it stands right now, I think he kind of really needed to get that squad kill. A little something to even things out, because here comes the Blood Crusher. He's going to see this, and the Force Commander is going to stall a little bit, at least force a retreat, try to prevent a little bit of extra map presence for as much as he can. But with the gens being down, and actually having stolen Bruce's extra gen in the center of the map, I think he might have bought himself a window. He's halfway to Tier 2. The Blood Crusher hasn't done too much, and it now needs to run across the whole map to get anything else done.
Charge Power Fist.
Okay, so I just heard the Power Fist call, so yeah, we can see as soon as Hero hits Tier 2, the Power Fist is going to be coming down. Scouts desperately trying to steal that generator kill, and then maneuver around in such a way. I don't know that they can actually get around this before they get suppressed. They do! Oh my gosh. And managed to get away. And this is another one of those small things, right? Like, anyone else probably would have either missed that gen and retreated the scouts, or either gotten the gen and then still, like, the small plays here, stuff like that, of
Claiming a victory point.
optimizing these small plays, you know, getting the micro just right, dodging the retreat path correctly while also minimizing damage, getting the generator. Little stuff like that stacks up pretty well. Scouts maybe missing some micro over here. Touch and Nurgle going down. These scouts have to get out of there. It looks like he's not paying attention to what's going on up top. Oh no. He was focusing up top against the Blood Crusher, it looks like, and lost the scouts as a consequence.
Scouts under attack.
Grenade goes down, does some pretty nice damage to the Heretics. They're gonna fall back into the garrison for the time being. Should be able to stop the advance of the Heretics. And even just taunting right out there. Blood Crusher not going to be able to rip them out of the windows.
Go ahead. Death before
And the
dishonor.
Force Commander now fully equipped. Artificer Armor, Power Fist, and Iron Halo. The Artificer actually makes him makes him quite sustainable on the field. His HP regen becomes pretty impressive.
I shall fight on.
We have 200 points remaining.
The task unfinished is a prayer unanswered. Ready.
So the Force Commander is a lot tankier now between the Artificer's Armor and the Iron Halo.
The enemy
More
is
max
now
health,
in
more
your
max
strategic
energy,
point.
faster health regen, and now we have a Razorback coming out on top of all of that. That said, DarkHero's hurting in the victory point condition. Things are looking rough. 157 to 393.
Traitors attack! The point is ours. None shall take it. They have us targeted. Suppressive fire on our position.
Assault Marines at your command.
So now he just now he just has to find a way to break this open. I think he if he had the third scout, he could do it. Now he's a little more dependent on the Razorback to bring in some more damage to this fight. And he doesn't, yeah, he just decides he needs to have those Assault Marines at full health because he doesn't have something like Apothecary Heal or something like that. He needs them to be at full health so that when they jump in, they can really get some stuff done. They need to stick around for a little while, probably to deal with these heretics. But what he's basically going to want to do, I mean, it looks like he's just choosing to not directly engage right now while he gets his Assault Space Marines back up to full fighting health. But with Bruce Campbell being in Tier 3, things are going to get pretty dicey. Dark going for Whirlwind again. He really likes that Whirlwind. That said, if he can hold some ground with the Force Commander and Assault Space Marines, I think the combination of Razorback and Whirlwind can be very powerful. He's got a Melt a Bomb. He's got the Power Fist. Let's see if he can play this right. The charge tries to go down. Oh my gosh, but the Force Commander does a special attack. Big whiff there. I don't think he can quite get the Flesh over Steel. He's got to move in closer. You see, this is one of the most frustrating things in this game is when someone stops doing that. There he goes. Flesh over Steel goes down. But the Chaos Predator is here, and just as he used all of his anti-vehicle options, a Chaos Predator comes in here and starts causing some serious trouble. It does look like the Blood Crusher is going to go down. The Howl didn't go down just enough. You can see the lone aspiring champion heading back. All those heretics went down. Anti-vehicle missile goes down, but he needs to back up that Whirlwind right now. Get out of there, Razorback, run! If the Razorback stays alive, there's hope. He needs to get these scouts out of here too. What is he doing? What's the plan? Oh no. Scout gets sync killed by the aspiring champion. 101 to 393, and losing that scout might be the final straw here. Still in the game, Discord's having issues. Discord is dead for some reason. Oh man, I think Discord was having problems a few days ago as well. There's been something up with the Discord servers. Assault Marines jumping in, Force Commander teleporting back as well, but unfortunately these squads are just too injured to really do anything about this situation. Touch and Nurgle goes down just to make sure everything gets secured. But with only a squad of scouts and a squad of Assault Marines, and now oh my gosh, the Whirlwind is exposed, and it's actually a little slower than the tank, so the tank should have no problem chasing this light vehicle down. And even if it doesn't get the vehicles, the victory points are getting to be such that there's just no time for DarkHero to get back into it. Another Chaos Predator's coming out here, and Dark just doesn't have the army at this point to hold on. If he had all three of those scouts, his scouts would be running all over the map, capping the points, everything like that. But that's the problem with the triple scout build, is that you're so very dependent on those squads that even losing one of them can be fairly crippling. I kind of expect to see some more tax get dropped in here, but I mean, overall, it's probably a lost cause. Yeah, there's just no time to get any points. He's going for the points. He's trying to fight it to the bitter end, but the scouts go down. The Razorback is toast. The Whirlwind can just take a couple shots from the tank and disappear as well. GG comes in, and that's going to be it. Bruce takes the series 2-1. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you guys have a good weekend. I'll see you guys Monday. Have a good time. Go play some Dawn of War. And, Chill out. Enjoy yourselves. I will catch you next.